Hey everybody, it's your girl, Pajama. Pajama Life. Looks like I might have a little delay, but bear with us. And Patrick is having a little bit of technical difficulties, so hopefully he'll be on shortly. But next to me is the guy, the myth, the legend, David. Say hey to the people.
Hey everybody, great to be with you. Great to be with you, Pajama. Looking forward to talking about this plethora of fun things to kick off the new year.
Oh, and it's a new year. Today we're going to be reviewing Rebel Moon, the new Zack Snyder movie on Netflix, and the second season of What If. And here we have the Watcher himself. Check it out. Say hey to the people, Patrick.
So I'm bald, so I'm the watcher now, I guess. Okay,
Pretty
fair enough,
much.
I guess. Feels kind of superficial, but here we are. So, yes. Hey, everybody. Sorry I was late having technical issues. You got a ways to go, Dave. Ways to go. That's a grain of sand on a very smooth beach. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I mean, glad to be here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Sorry to be loping in here like Rambo without a jockstrap, but here we are. So let's get to it.
Oh. Okay, let's get going before we get any more craziness with Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. Let's take a peek.
When I found you in the wreckage of that ship, I considered leaving you. I was afraid you could bring trouble to us. What do you think they want?
We're just farmers. We're not a threat.
You're delusional. You think those soldiers will show them mercy? Stop. We're gonna have to fight. We're searching for soldiers for a fight against the Mother World.
It's a new age for the universe.
David, what did you think of Rebel Moon?
That's no moon. It's a Rebel Moon. I loved it. I absolutely enjoyed it. I heard about this. I've been gearing up and counting down the days until December 22nd. When I watched it, it got me through my middle and ground of COVID. Not a perfect movie, but it certainly echoed the film heritage of Kurosawa, the Seven Samurai, the Magnificent Seven. If you remember Steve McQueen and Yul Brynner, it had that vibe. It was more of that movie than anything else in the space world. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to April when we see the second half of it. And I know we've got some other conversation and opinions about it, but I'm going to start off and give it a solid A to begin the conversation. I am. And I've watched it 4 or 5 times.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh no. I barely withstood 1.5. I watched it, tried to watch it again tonight just to make sure that I thought it was trash. This is terrible. It's a rehash of trash. I mean, it's just a rehash of every sci-fi trope, and it, to me, the biggest problem, it looks ugly. I'm sorry. It looks like dirt. It is this sepia crappy color. And I'm like, how you make space ugly though? I mean, it's just a mess. The acting was bad. It was just the story's all over the place. It's too long. And for another movie, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So this is just a mess. And I did not like it. Patrick, what did you think?
Well, I did not like it either. I will be honest. I wanted to like it because I do love most science fiction things, to be honest. I don't know that I have a problem specifically with the storyline or anything. I mean, it was very Seven Samurai-ish, yes, and that's a classic movie. Obviously, it's inspired at least 2 remakes now, in different, by recasting them in different settings and stuff. So it's obviously a good story if they had decided to do that a little bit better. But man, Zack Snyder him and Peter Jackson should get together and have a self-love club, because they seem to feel that they can make movies take too long for too little of something.
Yeah.
This was a weak version of Seven Samurai. It was the same sepia tone, dark, dirty world that Pam was talking about, that you saw in, Superman. Watching some of those images we just saw, like the ships coming down. I mean, I understand he's probably got a contract with some special effects place, and he's probably getting a bit of a discount. But I mean, he is very, very self-indulgent to himself about. He loves to do things, and I get it. He's made some money, so there are people that obviously like it. Dave, you liked it, but for me, I feel like Randy Jackson. Yeah, dog, that's a pass for me. It was not that great. It was like a low rent version of Andor, is what I felt. I cared about the people in Andor. They were definitely a lot better. If you want to try to go with the non-Jedi, super natural type of, extra force type of thing you've got going on with most of the Star Wars movies, Andor is a great example of something you could do, a good science fiction rebel type of thing without resulting to laser swords and space wizards,
which they did. The laser sword.
They did, I know, and I'm that sure, whatever. But it's just, I didn't care. I mean, everything was so dark, and I didn't feel any attachment to any of them. We have this typical, person of importance hiding in a backwater, and then gets discovered, and then leads all the farmers up against the terrible empire, and I'm sure it's going to then. They're going to make money on it. They're going to do another one. They've done another one of them. They're going to show it like Dave was talking about. I suspect I'll watch it, but I may not be happy about watching it, and I'll give it a shot just because I suspect we'll want to talk about it. And I just did not like this. It was just I can't tell you how disinterested I was. It's just that low. So,
well, I think there'll be plenty of takers for it.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, it does have some violence in there, so parents should kind of be careful. There's a lot of cussing, but it's a 2-1.
2-1 against. It's lonely over here, but that's all right. That's why we got.
As we say, decide for yourself.
Enjoy it or not. If you're paying for Netflix, hey, it's just part of the admin cost. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. So next up is Marvel's second season of the kind of mashup of different stories in What If? The Watcher is watching. Let's take a look.
Let me tell you one of my favorite stories.
This kid puts on quite a show.
Are you sure you do not want any backup?
Looks can be deceiving, Your Highness.
I think there is still no time to celebrate.
Chin chin!
This place is in grave danger. Again. And I am the only one who can do anything about it.
Who is this handsome dog?
I don't do sequels normally, but things have gotten a little twisted in the multiverse.
Well, you got the color of the suit, right? I'm Santa Claus, baby.
I've been looking for you for a long time.
Okay, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna let Pat go ahead and talk about this season of What If.
I really like it, and I know there's been some detraction on some of the message boards and what have you about The addition of a brand new character, the Native American story, which was like the third to the last or fourth to the last. Anyway, totally worth watching. I mean, there were some really interesting juxtapositions. We're putting Captain Carter back into it because we had that at the end of the first season, and there were some really interesting time switches, which was kind of cool, where they put the Avengers in 1600s. That was kind of cool, and the Elizabethan thing, and you had some things going on there. You had some sort of Robin Hood kind of feel to it. I will tell you that it was really interesting for me to watch the credits for the simple fact that you got to see who the voice actors were, because man, you would swear that was Michael Douglas talking, as Ant-Man, but he was not Michael Douglas because he was too busy doing something, and then you had, I don't think Chris Hemsworth was doing his lines. They had people that sounded really good job on the voice casting, is what I'm saying, because someone who's watched these movies dozens of times, I would have been hard pressed to figure out who is the real voice and who is not the real voice, because there's some real ones in there too, where these guys come back and reprise and get a paycheck for sitting in a booth for 2 days or whatever. Overall, I really enjoy it. The Watcher, they talk about how he doesn't do anything. He's not supposed to. That's part of the oath of the Watcher, but historically, canonically, through the books, he has done a lot of stuff over the years and things where he's had to avert, cataclysms to avoid. He was the only one, but for the most part, he just lets it go, which he does do through most of the episodes. Really good stuff. Love this series. It's such a great new take on stories that we already know and characters that we already know, but putting them in new situations and new stuff. I like the first season a lot. This season did not disappoint me either.
I thought it was a little bit disappointing. It felt like some of it dragged. Some of the stories dragged towards the end, and I was like, okay, get to it. We kind of know what's going to happen, what this is all leading up to. And I didn't get the Kahori story. That's the kind of, if Kahori saves the, anyway, it's the Native American theme kind of story.
The new superhero that was not there before. That's not any books.
It's a new one, and which is probably a kind of tie-in with Echo, that's coming up. Since Echo is a Native American Marvel character, so there's maybe some thread running through. Which, hey, give Native Americans all the all the respect they deserve. But I don't know about some I like more than others. And last time I felt like I liked them all. And this time I was just not as thrilled as I was the first time. But is it something people should watch? Definitely. I thought it was a genius move to release them every day of the 9 days so that, you kept the momentum going. But I kind of felt like it might have competed against Percy and the Olympians some. So I think maybe they could have waited on one or the other, which would have kind of given you more to anticipate. But with Echo coming out Tuesday, and it's a 6 episode drop, 5 or 6 episodes. I think that's why they had this come out when it did. But it was just okay for me. David, what did you think?
I'm kind of more in the okay aspect of it. I feel like there's they hit gold with the Avengers in that run, that initial phase of it, and we're going back to the well again to see if we can get a little bit more gold. Mixing my metaphors here. There were a couple of episodes that I really liked. I did like the Elizabethan, although I think Robin Hood would be more like the 1300s, not the 1600s, but I digress. That was neat. You're right, but Pat's right, man. The voice actors did a sensational job. Yeah. And they, it's like, that did sound like Michael Douglas. I did think that was so-and-so. So it was nice to see. You brought up Pam the Percy Jackson, and that to me, I think that's kind of the sweet spot that Disney had. It seems like that's really in their genre. I feel like they're milking the Marvel material a little bit more, and they're not able to do it great. Now, it was good, fair to good, overall, but not it didn't grab me with it. But I do think, but it was an enjoyable thing to watch. From an entertainment standpoint, I think that Percy is far better. I think that's one of the best things that Disney has done in a long, long time, in terms of their shows. So, but at any rate, so I'm a watch it. Don't be too excited about it, but check it out.
I think you'll be surprised at some of them, and that I hope. And this is not to say I don't want them to keep doing What If, because I think the different mashups are really great. And as opposed to Rebel Moon, this looked gorgeous. The animation was gorgeous.
It's a bargain.
It had different
It's a bargain
styles
for Disney, because they don't have to spend big dollars on big special effects. You just go through animation, and you don't even hire Michael Douglas. You hire Bob Smith, who sounds like Michael Douglas.
We could do it. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good mix of business and entertainment.
And I hope that they use What If to kind of continue the storylines as opposed to all the multiverse stuff. I hope they use this and Secret Invasion to kind of move it along to the next genre. I mean, the next iteration of it. So we'll see, but definitely check out. I think it's something everybody can watch. What If? Okay, well, that takes us to the end this week. Next week we have, what do we have? We have The Holdovers, and what do we have? And Echo. What am I talking about? I was talking about an Echo and the Hold. Oh, that could be the name of a group. Echo and the Holdovers. David, you got any final words for us?
Well, I just want to wish everybody a great week coming up. Let's hope that 2024 is being good to you, and let's keep the good times coming.
All right, Patrick, got any final words for us?
Just a happy January 6th to all of you that are out there. Never forget.
Yeah, that's true. But we might have a special guest next week. So I may have something special for us. We'll see if I can get that arranged, in addition to Echo and the movie The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti. But definitely make sure that you are feeling good about yourself, feeling positive. Let's take it and move into a new iteration of you in 2024. So we will see you next week, same time on Pajama Life. Take care.